Hello, all you wonderful people out there, and welcome to another episode of Pivotal Change. I'm your host, Ryan Kahn from CS Business Consulting, and we are here to help all of the influential people, all of the entrepreneurs, the business executives, and anyone that wants more influence and be able to affect change to find those pieces of information and resources that can help you reach that pivotal change to success. I want to welcome you tonight on the episode, Brad Pinzur. He is a wonderful, highly intelligent man that I've recently become friends with. He is into software development, AI solutions, and he also does a lot of this to help expand the bandwidth of a brand, marketing, client profiles, prospecting, and just helping people grow their business by leveraging technology, software, and ultimately AI. So Brad of Kajabra, welcome aboard and thank you for coming on Pivotal Change.
Thank you, Ryan. So happy to be here.
Well, good deal. But what I like to do is everyone in the audience knows two things. One, they're supposed to be watching the show with a pen and paper to take notes. And two, that we're always up against hard breaks, commercials, and we do have time restrictions. So what I want to do is just jump straight into the questions. And I want to start off in the AI category. So one of the things that I get questioned about in our advisory services, and you and I have had conversations about, is with AI coming full on into multiple industries and businesses, a lot of companies, a lot of people are worried about the strategy of implementing AI. If they're going to give some AI-driven solutions, how do they get this into their company, into their operations and workflow without overwhelming their teams and causing negative disruption to workflow?
Yeah, I mean that's a big challenge. I think the first step is really to kind of identify what tasks could be automated or and should be automated, and literally just like kind of listing that down and then using those tasks and addressing those tasks as a way to help kind of improve the lives of those that would be affected by it. So the employees, you're not trying to replace them, you're just trying to make it easier for them to, get stuff done and be able to focus on things that are require more, brain power.
Got that. I like that a lot. So what we want to do first is we want to take a little bit of a step back and we want to do an identification process.
Yeah.
We want to scan our current workflow, scan the current demands and needs of our employees and say, these are the areas where we do need software or AI solutions to help us become more efficient or more effective in different areas. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, absolutely. And then that helps you kind of identify, what software would be a good match for you if you're looking for different software or you're building out your own platform.
Okay. So I know kind of in our world, and you guys are helping us with this too, is that, we have a template. We've, went the template route so we can pretty much copy and paste, but we still have to physically enter addresses. We still have to physically shoot these templates out to our clients. Instead, there's software or even AI solutions that can pre-identify their prompt lists, and they can take care of this burden as well. So all we kind of have to do is kind of monitor, kind of review what's happening, and the actual AI and software is doing the work. Is that some of the solutions people are able to look for?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you'll have is you'll have whatever can be automated will be automated, and it'll take time, but basically you'll have that, and then you'll have kind of steps in the process or stages where the human will come in and kind of put their eye on it to make sure it kind of checks all the boxes and the data's correct and all that kind of stuff, and then maybe it's some type of tagging function or some kind of trigger so that it moves on to the next stage. So you might have that depending on what business you're in. You might need more of that. That's essentially how it'll work.
I like that, like you said, the tagging process where basically the AI is doing something in the background and then it tags you or taps you on the shoulder saying, hey, I need you to check something out so I can move forward.
Yeah, and vice versa. So like you'll be notified that, hey, the AI has done its thing, need you to go and check it. And then once you check it and it's good, you're going to go in there and you might manually tag it or some type of trigger for it to go on to the next stage in the process.
Okay, very cool. So a lot of people are also looking to not just internal processes like the random example I threw out, but for us, I know this is across industries and of course in the accounting advisory world, but I'm looking for more clients. But I don't just want everybody. I don't necessarily want a message to everybody that's out there. Potentially, I don't want to be too negative, but get a bunch of garbage clients that don't fit my services, they don't fit my profile, my culture real well. So now I'm having to manually weed through people. Are AI solutions out there to where if I want to enhance my market reach and specifically the research on this is a person that is primed and ready to be a good profile based client for you? Are those tools out there? Is that some type of method to where a growing role in the content generation that sends out information to who we are to the right type of person can be done?
Absolutely. So you probably have all experienced this. I mean, I know that I have been receiving emails that seem to know a lot more about me and what I'm interested in. So what that is, it's called data enrichment. So there's companies out there that basically have all this data, based on an email address or some piece of, phone number, business name, whatever, and they're able to integrate that with your software, your email platform, and you know add um context and important pieces to your message, so that when you send it out, you're targeting, you're doing a better job in your communication and what you're saying. And um that's out there. There's plenty of companies out there that are doing that.
Gotcha. So with that, what type of metrics should maybe a person in charge or a business owner be looking for? Or if I'm using this market reach, I'm trying to enhance this through AI. How can I put in some type of metrics to know that I'm getting the right type of clients, the right type of product, and things sent my way? Is there a way that we can evaluate its effectiveness?
I mean, I think the best way is really just by doing it, right? So like, if you have a list and you send it out, and it's always been this way where you're testing, it's testing, testing, testing. It's not like there's one way to do it and it's going to work for you. It's like you have to test, test, test. And, you send out 100 emails or 100,000 emails, and um, you have to record the data, you have to, put it somewhere, and then you have to, there's a manual process there. It's not something that's like completely automated. So that's pretty much how you'd have to do it.
Gotcha. So there
Mm.
are going to be huge benefits, like you're saying. We can get the outreach and we can get the data collection much more powerfully than ever before. But when we receive that data, there's not necessarily an automation that is built specifically to you to filter your data. That would be things that have to grow over time, probably, and a little bit of manual review to say, hey, this is exactly what I'm looking
Yeah, I mean, I think the question was really like measuring the effectiveness of like a campaign that you're sending out. And I think the way to really do that is to just by doing it and just, you know, knowing whether, did they call you? Did they respond? Did they reply to you? Did they book an appointment with you? Or whatever your KPIs are, you'd have to record that. There are probably ways to definitely ways to automate that. It just depends on how sophisticated your system is. But those are going to be, you'd have to identify what the KPIs are important to you. And, you'll know, kind of from there, whether, uh, you know, the enriched data and what you paid for that was worth it compared to maybe what you did previously. You
for.
know,
Gotcha. So that's pretty good. And that kind of leads me to some of my other conversations about specifically content creation and the power of AI to produce content, whether that's blanket content or personalized content. How can I scale and adapt my business model to utilize that content creation and not losing the personal side of things, but also getting that mass good quality of material out there?
so that's a great question, and it's something that we're really passionate about, that we're working on. Um, when it comes to content, I mean, the first thing is really, you know, understanding, your business and what's important to your customers and having being able to tell that story, um, and generating like a playbook, right? And so you have this playbook that pretty much, it's what your company is about, it's the story, it's your tone to create, whether it's an email, a blog post, or social media, video, all that kind of stuff. It can use that to generate the content automatically. And I think the key really is to have software and a system that allows you to create these workflows, because you know chat gpt and Google Gemini and all these tools are great, um, but if you're going over here to generate your content and then you have to like cut and paste it over into another system to do like that, that's just too cumbersome. And I think that's where we were, maybe in 2022 and part of 2023. But more and more so, you're seeing systems that are being built, and also the price of these systems are going down, and it's becoming much more affordable. And the level of sophistication and what's possible, that normally might have been more on like the enterprise level, is super affordable for small businesses. So I think the key is really to have a platform and invest in a platform that allows you to have this kind of like, you know, AI integrated with it into that whole, workflow and system. Yeah.
I like that. So that's a good spot for me to jump in. I want to stick a pin in the conversation right here. What we're going to do is cut to commercial break. Everyone else, sit tight. We're going to be back with more Brad and more pivotal change right after this commercial break.